I did not think I'd be saying this in 2023, but welcome to London, folks. It is my first time here in the UK, and I couldn't be happier. It's December 24th, so Merry Christmas. And I'm staying at a friend's house here in the area of South Woodford, which is East London. And I thought for the first video of this series, we could just have a walk around the suburbs so I can show you what English life is really like. So let's do this. Well, as you can see, it's pretty cold right now. So I'm all bundled up in layers. But yesterday my friend took me on a bit of a loop around some of the neighboring areas here. We saw some pretty interesting sights. So let's see if I can recreate that experience I had yesterday. We'll probably stop for a typical British lunch as well. This section of the video is to prove that the double-decker buses are actually real and they pass here on the streets of the suburbs too. There it is. The Ilford 179. So this general area is pretty affluent, so there's actually a lot of shops. It's just these really small neighborhoods, but they have absolutely everything that you might need. So, of course, one of my first experiences in London was getting on the old tube here, the London Underground. And my friend's house is pretty well located right next to the Central Line, so you can be in central London in about 20 minutes. And one of my second experiences was also as British as could be. I went here to the Railway Bell last night. Arsenal and Liverpool was playing, so it was packed with lads to the brim, just yelling and cheering. Pretty good fun. Had a few pints. And maybe because the transport system here in London is quite expensive, I think I had a pretty silly idea that it was going to be this like really well-maintained train. But what I saw was actually much cooler. A gritty, beat up, dirty, and noisy version, which I thought was much cooler. One thing I really love about London so far is just how international the culture is. So of course you can find any type of cuisine here and they're all very authentic. For example, just behind me there's this place called International Market, and there you can find pretty much any ingredient from any country in the world. I've heard there's even a lot of stuff from Brazil in there, which would make me feel right at home, of course. So London is the place to be for all your international cuisine needs. And I must say that's pretty different from Spain, where I was earlier this week, because they tend to like sticking to their own local cuisine quite a lot. It's good to change it up a bit. Now, speaking of food, I have heard that if you're a little peckish when in London, Greg's is your go-to spot for shitty convenience store food. So I'm pretty curious to go see what they have inside. Thank you very much. I ended up getting a vegetable bake. I didn't want to get any meat because I didn't want to ruin lunch for later, but let's see what a Greg's bake is like here in London. Pretty decent, less than £2. Nice snack. You can see it's actually not dry at all. It's quite creamy, pretty big. It's even a little spicy, probably some black pepper in there or something like that. So now as for the coffee at Greg's, I must say I got a regular latte. It's pretty decent size, but it tastes like some piping hot coffee flavored water, similar to what you get on an airplane. So if you do want coffee here in London, make sure you go somewhere other than Greg's. Now, one thing I do love about this neighborhood is that they have their own little neighborhood cinema, the Odeon. So here is the Odeon in all of its splendor, a charming little theater with great movies at $5 a pop. What's not to like? So yesterday was a pretty nice day for UK standards, so we made sure we got out of the house and had a bit of a walk around, but today I'm already starting to get some of that classic British drizzle. But when in England, right? I'm now walking along this pretty long road with some nicer houses in the back, you can see, and it's just this really long park along it where you can go for a jog or walk your dog. And we are making our way to a place called Eagle Pond, which apparently is really nice. It's got some geese in there and whatnot, so let's go see what that's about. I feel like it could be called Geese Pond, with the amount of geese you see here. So I think you can actually do a loop around. Pretty beautiful sights with all the geese flying around. We've now left the South Woodford area and we are in Snaresbrook now, another affluent little area of East London. I must say, even though I've been to many countries around the world, as soon as I arrived here in London, there was just a smile on my face because as a movie lover, I haven't been to that many places that you can kind of recognize from all the movies and TV series that you've watched. So it was just really cool seeing all the iconic imagery of London, the buses, the mailboxes, and everything else. Now I'm standing here in a little park in the Wanstead area. You can see a classic pub behind me, and I just love how all of the little shops are kind of built into the old houses. Now, because I've been used to warmer weather in the past years, I have been summer hopping from one country to another. When I arrived yesterday, I thought the cold and the drizzle was actually quite nice. But I must admit, today after walking around for a couple of hours, I'm kind of sick of it already. So I just can't really imagine living a life here with this weather, especially if this is what the average day looks like, and I have a feeling it is. We were walking down the street yesterday and there was a line at that place called the Ginger Pig that went all the way down the street. Apparently it was people picking up their Christmas meats, but the commotion has died down now. Conjured up wonderful things, the ballad of what could have been. This is the church that's actually right in front of the house I'm staying in. That's it right there. And I feel like having some traditional fish and chips for the first time in the UK. I'm gonna hit this Woods fish and kebab shop. Let's see what it's all about. I've just had a seat here at Woods, and if you're from the United States, you know pie to be a sweet dessert, right? Like apple pie, banana pie, cherry pie. But in the countries of the Commonwealth, here in England, Australia, New Zealand, pies are actually savory items. So here at Woods, for example, they have, chicken and mushroom, beef and onion, steak and kidney, sausage and batter. So do try the pies as well when you're in the Commonwealth countries. So I just left Woods Fish and Chippery here in South Woodford, and that was an amazing experience. The fish, the cod, so freshly fried. The chips were amazing too. I just had like the classic flavor of salt and vinegar, and it was absolutely amazing. And there's something I want to touch on, which is because the neighborhoods are really small here in London, there's a real family vibe inside of all the establishments. So his family is from Turkey, and he was just the kindest man. I asked to get some chips to go, the rest of my chips to go, and he actually put more chips in a box for me, put more salt, more vinegar. So I'm now going to take the chips home to my friends who are hosting me here in London. So definitely check out Woods Fish and Kebab here in South Woodford. Hey Jarbas! How's it going? Pega o microfone aqui, ó. So Jarbas, how's the...
What the fuck?
How are the preparations for the party?
Exhausting.
Exhausting?
It is really exhausting.
You almost finished?
Almost finished, yeah. I think I finished.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can help with the Christmas decorations here. Hello, Guinness. Ready for the big Christmas bash? This is Guinness the dog. What a beast. And we're gonna have a nice Christmas party, so if you want to see more of London together, just click on the video that's on your screen, and I'll see you over there in the center of London. In 3, 2, 1, say Merry Christmas, Jarbas!
Merry Christmas, Jarbas!
Alright.